Hi everyone, welcome to STEAM Adventures here at the Anaheim Public Library. My name is Juan, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, Pete the Parakeet. He's going to serve as my first officer. Now, why would I need a first officer? The reason? Because today we're going to learn about boats. So you may refer to me from now on as Captain Juan. Now, for today's activity, you can actually reserve a kit at your local Anaheim Public Library. This kit is going to consist of instructions, both in English and Spanish, instructions on how to build your own paper boat, paper for said paper boat, and some tinfoil. We'll get to that later. For today's activity though, we're going to learn all about why boats float, and we're going to make our own very own boats from household materials. Let's get started. Alright, so what makes a boat a boat? A boat, by definition, is something that floats on water and can carry people or cargo across a body of water. Now, the key thing is the boat has to float. It can't be a submarine, it has to be able to go across the ocean. So, I have before you 3 examples of different kinds of boats that I've made. Which boat do you think will sink? Which boat do you think will float? Personally, I think this guy is gonna float and he's gonna be the fastest ship out there. And I think this guy right here, he's gonna sink to the bottom of the ocean. What do you think? Well, we wouldn't be good scientists if we don't test out our theories. So let's put him to the test. Let's put this guy first in the water. 1, 2, 3. What do you know? He floats. Now let's test out this guy. He's gonna sink for sure. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, I was wrong. Well, let's hope I'm not wrong about this one. 1, 2, 3. Oh dear. Oh, looks like I was wrong. But that's okay. Now, the reason I was wrong is because this guy is actually hollow. Inside is tiny little pockets of air. Now, air is lighter than water, which means he floats. Well, this guy, he is completely solid. There's no room for air, there's no room for anything. So, when he's placed in water, he just sinks to the bottom. When building a ship, the key thing you have to consider is air pockets. Air pockets are these little designs inside boats that trap air and hold it. That way, it floats. Now, some boats might have big open spaces full of air, and some just might have it built into the hull itself, just like this one. Now, the reason they have air pockets is because air pockets help balance the boat on water. While in the water, there is an invisible force known as buoyancy, which is pushing up against the boat. Now, there's also another invisible force known as gravity, which is pushing the boat down, while the buoyancy is pushing it up. This forms a kind of balance that lets the boat just float there rather than just sink. However, if there's not enough air, the gravity slowly pushes the boat down, and then it starts sinking. That's pretty cool, right? Now, from here, we're going to transition to making our very own boats. So why don't you join me for that? Alright, the first kind of boat we're going to make is one out of wood. Traditionally, boats have been made out of wood for centuries. So what we're going to do is we're going to use popsicle sticks to build our own very own raft. And to keep it together, some people would use string, some would use hard mud. We're going to use glue. Keep it simple. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to build a base. So these are going to be, this is what's going to hold everything together. I'm going to glue in a straight line, just like that, on both sides. And then I'm slowly going to just keep adding sticks. Now these 2 long sticks going this way are actually what's going to go in the water. That's what's going to help hold the boat up. This is to hold material, cargo. So theoretically, you would there'd be a person on this, but I'm not small enough to fit on this, so I think it'll be fine. You can make your boat any way you want. I'm just going to stick to the traditional method. Alright, so I'm going to let this dry for a bit and we'll move on to our next boat. So the next kind of boat we're going to use or make out of is straws and tape. Now, traditionally, I've never heard of a boat made out of straws, but there are boats that are made out of plastic. That's because the material is light and it it's a really good way to hold in air. So we're gonna wrap these with our tape that I've already cut up. Let's see. Oh. Let's see how that goes. Oh. Okay. All right, that's one side taped up. Let's go for the other. Now mine's not gonna come out perfect, and yours doesn't have to either. All right, our third kind of boat we're gonna make is out of tin foil. Now, you're thinking, tin foil is kind of metallic, it's made out of metal, right? Metal's gonna sink. Well, most boats are made out of metal nowadays, so we're just gonna try to recreate that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold the top half like this, fold the side like this into a more of a folded square, just like that. And I'm just going to start folding it up. Start folding it up. I'm going to make it look like a weird bowl. But again, your boat does not have to look exactly like mine. What matters is that it floats. And it holds stuff, but we'll get to that. Now, it isn't the prettiest ship, but I think it'll float. Now, let's move on to our last boat. Just like the tinfoil one, included in your kit is the paper boat instructions and a piece of paper to build those boats, to use those instructions on. Now, we're gonna follow these instructions to make our very own origami boat. So first, what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold it in half, just like that. Try to line up the edges as best you can. Make a crease, unfold, and then fold it again in half the other way. You can do it in either order, it's okay. But at the end, you want it to be like that. Now, the instructions say we need to fold the corners in, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fold the corners in so that way they line up with the crease in the middle, just like that. Make another crease. There you go. Just like that. Next, you're gonna fold these little flaps up, just like that. Fold it. Make sure you make that crease nice and strong. Flip it and do the same thing. 1, 2. Mine are a little uneven, so I'm gonna make sure they line up just like that. And fold again. Okay. Next, what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull it open just like that. And then you're gonna pull and pull until it looks just like that. Kind of looks like a diamond, doesn't it? Like that. Tuck the little flaps over one another on both sides. So you want. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold each flap all the way to the tippy top again, just like that. Make your indent, flip it, until you have a triangle. It's starting to look like a paper boat, but we'll get there. Next, you're going to pull it open again, and you're gonna make it into a square. Into a square. And then, from here, it's the tricky part. You're gonna pull the two parts aside, make your indent, and there you go. You got yourself a genuine paper boat, or a hat, your choice. All right, now that we've built our boats, let's see if they do the very important thing of floating. We're gonna start with our popsicle stick boat. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Now the reason the wood floats on water is because inside the wood are these tiny, tiny little pores that trap air. Now, That's why you can paint wood a different color and it'll stick around or it'll stay that color for a very, very long time. In this case, the tiny little air pore pockets are holding air in and keeping the the popsicle sticks afloat. Now, let's see if that's the case with our straw boat. All right, 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Now, the reason these are floating is because, if I'll pull this out, right here, that's trapping in air. And these are just one big long air pocket. Now, if I were to push down on it, because it gets heavy, it'll sink. But we'll learn more about that later. Now, let's try out our aluminum boat. Now again, this is made out of metal. Do you think it'll sink? We'll see right now. There you go. It floats because I built mine around an air pocket. This whole area is an air pocket. The piece of resistance, the paper boat. Now, it's a bad luck to sail a boat without a name. So, in honor of Pete the Parakeet, I named this the SS Pete. Let's see if he floats. He floats pretty well. That's pretty cool. Now, if you remember in the beginning of the video, I said it's not a boat unless it can carry something or a person. So let's put that to the test. In your kits are also marbles. These marbles are for testing. So we're gonna test if this can carry, or all of our boats can carry marbles, and how many can they carry before they sink, or they start sinking. Let's start with the raft. All right. 1, 2, oh. Man overboard. Looks like we're starting to take on some water. Still okay. Oh. Is 5 the limit? 5 is the limit. Oh no. Still floating, but because there are no guardrails, all of our passengers just went overboard. So, he is not a good boat. Let's try again. Let's grab our passengers. Now we're gonna try with the straw. We're gonna move you aside. 1. Oh no. Looks like he can't carry a boat. He can't carry any passengers either. Let's try that again with our aluminum. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my gosh. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh gosh, he's gonna carry all of them, aren't you? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Oh my gosh. 20 whole marbles. Wow. Now, I call that a success. So, let's try it out on the paper boat now. All right, let's try our paper boat and see how much that can carry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh no. Sorry, Pete. I didn't make it. Now, the reason this one sank is because of the material. Paper is an absorbent material, so it started absorbing the water the moment I placed it into the water. Now, the more weight I put, the more the water was starting to get absorbed until there was so much water that there was no air in it, and it just sank. So I guess there won't be any paper boats sailing out today. But our aluminum one worked out pretty good, didn't it? So, we learned a lot about boats today, why they float, their definition, and just a bunch of fun facts today. Pete the Parakeet had a lot of fun today, and he wants to let you know that if you made a boat and if you came up with a fun name, make sure you tag us on Facebook or Instagram using the hashtag Anaheim Public Library or hashtag Steam Adventures, and show us your beautiful creations. If you want to learn more about boats, marine biology, or the science behind anything, you can definitely use our curbside services for the Anaheim Public Library, or you can call us and we can tell you what kind of books are available and we can make some recommendations for you. And you can make reservations for your kit as well. I hope to see you soon, and I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.